is this undone? That is so up close and personal. Damn. Anyway, TikTok guys, bye. Please join us on YouTube. I'm gonna be going off now. And yeah. Oh, collapse this. Hi guys, how are you? How are you? How are you doing? Bye bye. Bye bye. We are over there. Hi YouTube. It's the energy shift for me. This place is just so different. I need to understand why. I don't get why. Why? Why is YouTube just so like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me who takes it way too seriously. Please don't mind all the dirt behind me there. Just act like you don't see it because I tried to clean, guys, but it wasn't gonna work. But anyway, welcome, welcome. You guys are on time, and these days I don't do the business of giving people time to join and all that. If we are saying we are starting at 1, we are starting at 1. If people don't join at 1, then hey, oopsie, too bad for them. But anyway, so we are going to be taking notes today. Hey Wendy, hey Taki, hey everybody. Today I am just going to be talking as always. I've got my notes written down. So please, please, please keep in mind as I am talking, I'm not going to be able to keep track of the chat, but I will try to get back. Hey T! It is so formal. I am going to change that. With time, we'll get comfortable and it won't be this formal. But anyway, for today, I said we are going to talk about how we are going to get a job in 2025. Not just a job, a remote job. And all the things that I have planned, I hope, hey, notification gang, all the things I've planned to talk about, I hope this is going to be very helpful to you guys. It's considered this also. I know I said the UGC one is the masterclass. This is basically a mini masterclass to my monthly remote work masterclass. So please enjoy, please learn, and give your feedback afterwards. Get into my email, into my DM, whatever works for you. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about how you're going to position yourself to land a remote job in 2025. First of all and foremost, it's the one thing that I always talk about is that you need to have direction. Looking for a remote job is exactly the same as looking for an on-site job. So the same direction, the same seriousness you have when you are looking for an on-site job is the same kind of direction and seriousness you need to apply when you are looking for a remote job. So sit down and figure out what type of job do you want to get within the remote space. What skills do you have? What are some of the things that come to you naturally? For this is more for the people who don't have experience. If you don't have any experience, you don't have any educational background, but you want to work remotely, the best thing you can do with yourself is figure out what skills have you acquired over time, or what are the things that you're interested in, things that come naturally to you, things that you know you wouldn't get so bored of doing. That's the highest number we've had on YouTube live. Sorry, just gotta put it out there. So yeah, you want to figure that out so that you know which direction to go in. If you're someone who's got experience already or you're working already, figure out, do you want to stay in the same lane or do you want to change? And if you want to pivot the career path that you're on, you're going to need to figure out what kind of skills do you need to acquire, or what skills have you acquired that you can use in a different kind of setup, a different kind of career that you want to go into. Because believe you me, every skill that you're getting from any job, it can be transferable from the job that you're doing to another job. There are so many that you do have actually. Oh, hey TikTok gang, love you guys, thank you for joining. So that is the first thing, have direction. Do you know what position you want to work in the remote space? Do you know which industry at least? Figure out the skills, figure out high income skills, because at the end of the day, you don't want to just acquire skills and not be paid well, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get bored, babe. So I always tell people, figure out high income skills so that when you get to work in those high income skills, also make sure they are in demand. You want to make the whole job process, job application process easier for you. What is in demand and what is high paying? In demand is going to make it easier for you to be hired. And then high paying, you're gonna make money. Who does not want money? Who doesn't want money? That's all I'm asking. Everybody wants it, right? So figure that out. Why in the world? Anyway, there's construction going on. I'm just going to assume it's construction cars, but it could be someone with a loud car. But anyway, there's construction going on. If that's a bit too much for you guys, let me know so I can close the windows. Is it too loud? Let me close the windows. Are you sure? Oh, it's loud, guys. Ah. Oh, much better. That's much better. Anyway, my fan is on, so I'll be good. I'll be good. Exactly, Karabo. You're the only one who made sense here. I have closed the windows. So anyway, so we say the first thing, you are going to figure out which direction you want to go in. And then again, if you don't have any sort of experience, you want to acquire these skills that we've talked about. I am not going to go in depth as to what skills you need to acquire or what skills are high paying. Again, I'm going to repeat myself, guys. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but if someone can help me answer the chat, because I tend to get distracted when I'm trying to talk and I'm answering chat, so please, bear with me. Somebody please just help me answer some of the things that you might know how to answer in the chat. Otherwise, we will have a little question and answer at the end where you can ask me questions, right? And I'll be able to answer. So I was saying that I'm not going to go into detail about what skills you will need to acquire, because the first live that I had this year, which is still available on my channel, we did talk about the high income skills specifically for 2025. However, high income skills, like I say, high income skills are going to make sure you get paid like a lot of money, and they are in demand. So that means getting hired is not going to be too difficult. But if you're someone who thinks, oh, these are all difficult things, because trust me, AI and all those things is going to require some brain power. If you just don't want to apply your brain and you just want to do something that's easier, you can still do the VA, admin assistant, and all that. It's just going to be a little bit harder for you to get a job, because everyone can be a VA. Everyone has a skill that allows them to be a VA. If you acquire a skill that sets you apart, that is what's going to make it a little bit easier for you to get hired, because there isn't much competition. So if you want to know about the high income skills, the high demand skills, specifically for 2025, please watch that first video that I recorded. I think it was on the 2nd of this month. So have a look at that. And then we have talked about basic requirements. These are things you want to make sure you've got before you start applying for a job, right? Getting a job starts from the process of you figuring out, what do I want to do? What do I need in order for me to get a job? And I understand there are some people who are probably in a situation where you're like, I'm not working. I haven't been working for a while. How am I supposed to get all this equipment? Turn to your community, baby, okay? Turn to your siblings, to your friends, to the people around you, so that you get what you need. So the basic requirements, and for the people who are coming from TikTok, you've probably heard me talk about this a whole lot of times. So close your ears if you're gonna be annoyed, okay? You are going to be required to be 18 and above in order for you to work remotely. It does not matter which part of the world you're in. You are not supposed to be employed if you're not 18. You should be able to communicate well in English. So this is normally because a lot of international companies are looking to hire from Asia, they're looking to hire from Africa, specifically these two places. And obviously our first language is not English. But when it comes to remote work, you are going to need to be good in communicating in English, whether it's verbally or it's written English. You need to be good at it. Okay, and some of the things that you can do, again, I talk about this in my remote work masterclass, but some of the things you can do, and I spoke about this yesterday on TikTok Live. If you believe you're not the best at speaking, or you don't have the confidence yet to speak or to kind of articulate yourself. One exercise that I always tell people to do: create a challenge. I personally enjoy challenges. Like, I live on challenges. That's how we get better as human beings. At least that's what I believe. What you want to do: go on Google, or if you want, you can DM me. I can send you some letters, some words that you can try out. You want to write down different words. I suggest either 21 or 30 words, one word for each day. Okay, you write on pieces of paper, you put them in a jar or in your drawer or wherever it's convenient for you. You pick out one word a day and you sit down and you just speak whatever comes to mind for 1 minute every single day. That's an exercise that I personally did when I was in high school. I was in debate club, and that's where we learned this, because in debate you need to be able to think on your feet. And this will help you specifically with remote jobs, because with remote jobs, yes, they're going to ask you behavioral questions, which is something we're going to talk about later, but they're also going to ask you some unconventional questions that require you to be someone who thinks on your feet. So you really need to learn how you can train your mind to think on your feet. Another question, another something that I've always said a whole lot of times, again, if you're from TikTok, close your ears. One question that I was asked in my interview when I was going through the process with JobDuck, it was, and I'm actually wearing one of my favorite colors. They asked me, obviously they ask you the normal questions for an interview, and then the unconventional one that came up for me was, what are your 3 favorite colors and how do they relate to your personality? And if you're unable to think on the spot, like, what are you going to say? You also need to understand everything you're being asked in an interview. They want you to relate it to you as an employee. They are not asking about your personal life. Yes, they said, how does it relate to my personality? But it's my personality in a working environment. Example of my answer. My answer to that was my first favorite color. It's obviously white. That's standard. I love white. That's just my favorite color. So I was like, my favorite color is white. White is very calming, it's very clean, and it's just, it makes things seem put together and peaceful and calm and all of that. And how it relates to my personality, I am literally the calmest person I know. One day is one day. When I visit my aunt, I will let her come on live with me so she can tell you about a story. I went through something horrific and they took me to the hospital. I do not panic. That's just how I am. Like, when things happen, whether it's to me or to anyone else, I am calm in whatever situation. I got there and the doctors were busy checking my heart rate and all that. And they were even saying to my aunt, how is she like this? Because this is weird. They expected my BP to be skyrocketing, but I was the calmest, babe. What is that saying? Calm as a cucumber, or cool as a cucumber? Something like that. But yeah, so that's how I answered that. I'm like, white is my favorite color because it's really calm, it's really peaceful, and that's kind of how I am as a person. In a working environment, when things are like going wrong, I'm usually the first person to be like, oh, don't worry, things always work out. Like, I think that's also just life. Things always work out, so I have no pressure in life. My second favorite color, it is this one, orange. And how I relate orange to my personality is that orange is very vibrant, like we can see. Orange is vibrant, orange is lively, orange just seems very friendly. And I am really that. Like, I am bubbly, I am lively. Unless if you meet me in person, then I'm just like shy and socially awkward. But that's just how I am. In any situation that you find me, I'm usually the person that gets people talking. I usually get people comfortable and things like that. And then my third favorite color, I said it was sage green. And why I chose that color, it's because I can pair it with anything. If I pair it with white, it works. With orange, it works. With brown, it works. With blue, with whatever color I can think of, it works. And for me, my personality is exactly that. You can take me from a high paying job and make me a cleaner anyway. I am going to fit in. I am just gonna blend in with everybody. Put me around people who are coming from the suburbs, or put me with the people in the rural areas. I adapt very easily. So that's why those were my three chosen favorite colors when I asked that. So why I started talking about this is because I said try this exercise, and like I said, if you do need me to help you with some words, then please do send me an email and I will share some words with you. You'll need to print them out, cut them up, and do that. Just sit down 1 minute. You can either record yourself if you want. If you don't want to, that's okay, but sit down and just talk about something for 1 minute. For example, if you pick, let's say, I've got this to-do list of mine here. Yesterday, I picked a different word here. What did I talked about to-do list. So let's say remote job. Maybe that's what you pick up. That's the phrase you pick up on a day. What you're going to do, you're going to sit down in front of your camera. You time yourself 1 minute. So my phrase is remote job. I'm just going to say what comes to mind. It's not about planning. You just want to train yourself to just say what comes to mind. And then with time, you will see that you learn to now structure your thoughts and think before you speak. So for example, I'm just going to go on about remote jobs. So I picked the word remote jobs today. All I'm going to say is that I really enjoy talking about remote jobs online. Being a remote worker has really changed my life, and everything I do online is just to help other people get remote jobs because I see how much of a change it has made for me. It would be really nice if everybody had the opportunity to work remotely, because remote jobs, you just go on whatever is coming to mind, you just go on. Anyway, so that's the English part. The third thing, you need to have matriculated. So this does not matter which country you're in. It doesn't matter which part of the world you're in. You should have finished high school. So whether you finish high school with IGSE or you do AS level, or you matriculate, you do form 4, form 6, whichever one it is, you should have finished high school. That's one of the minimum requirements. Working station, you also need to have somewhere where you can work from. Yes, with remote jobs, you're location independent. You can work from anywhere. But initially, as you're getting the job, you need to make sure you've got somewhere where you can work from. So that means you need to have a desk that you can sit at, and you need a chair. And it doesn't even need to be perfect, guys. I will show you the chair that I used first when I first started working remote. Yeah, I will share I will share that with you. But my point is, it does not need to be like a fancy chair. Obviously, some of you are unemployed for a long time like I was, so you can't really finance things like that. Use what you have, just have somewhere to work from. And then you also need to have equipment like your Wi-Fi, right? You want to have Wi-Fi, and you need to have a laptop. And I have posted a video on my channel. Actually, if you go through my channel, you'll see I have posted a video where I stipulate exactly the specs of your laptop and exactly the specs of your Wi-Fi connection. I would say fiber, but if you want to see the speed and all of that, please go watch that video. And then lastly, am I mad? I literally wrote notes and I repeated Wi-Fi and internet. Am I mad? Anyway, if you're in a place, the last thing is that if you're in a place where you have power outages or you have load shedding and things like that, you want to make sure you've got backup electricity. This is mostly for my peoples in Africa, okay? Here and there, we have different problems with electricity. So have some backup. Either have a generator, have a UPS, or have an inverter. Whichever one is suitable and is more affordable to you, please get that. You can always upgrade these things, guys, as you start working. As you start, you don't need to have the fanciest things. You just need to have the things that allow you to get your job done. That is all that matters. Are we still together? As I drink some water and think. Are we still good? Are we good with the basic requirements? We've basically now talked about, okay, cool, we are together. Cool, love it. Carolina, Motla, and Taki, thank you for answering that. Cool. So now touching on your CV, remember I said this is going to be informative enough to help you on your remote job search, but it's not as detailed as I detail everything in my remote work masterclass. So under your CV, I'm just going to touch on 3 things that you really need to pay attention to. And I believe I'm only touching on these 3 because as much as everything else does matter, these 3, baby, you gotta make sure you're keeping to that. So your CV really doesn't need to be longer than 3 pages. I do not care how many jobs you've done in this world, okay? Ain't nobody got time to sit down and read 20 pages, okay? Better to know what you want to do, which jobs you... Palesa, thank you for that. Okay, so your CV generally should be between 1 and 3 pages. Anything longer than that, really, guys, you really don't need a CV that long. I've been working since I was 21. Now, I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'm grown, okay? So I've been working for over 10 years. That's what I can tell you. There's no way I am going to list every single company that I have worked at on my CV. So you need to be a little strategic when you're putting your CV together. Depending on the position that you're applying for, the second thing you want to pay attention to is keywords. So you're focusing on the keywords in terms of the companies you're going to list and your duties that you had before. And you're also going to make sure you tailor that CV using keywords. You're going to read the job description. Pick out the keywords that they have put in that job description, because normally what happens is when someone writes a job description, literally, guys, it's a clue as to what exactly they want. So if your CV matches to these keywords, you rank higher than everybody else. I think by now we all know our CVs go through ATS before they actually are read by anybody. This is the process. Normally you send your CV is scanned, and that ATS scanning is basically checking for those keywords. You get? Do you understand? So the next time you are applying for a job, you want to make sure you read through the job description. Pick out what keywords are being used in this job description. Guys, you're not going to now become a scammer. Please don't. You're not going to lie on your CVs. You are going to customize and align your CV to the job description of the position you're applying for. And this is why I was saying you don't need to list every single job you've held before. Only list the ones that align to the one that you're applying to. There's a better chance those ones will actually contain way more similarities to the one you're applying for, therefore making your application process easier. And then the last thing you want to make sure of on your CV, if anything, no wonder my desired job is not aligning. Wow, Wendy. So I was saying, the last thing you want to pay attention when it comes to your CV is basically making sure every time you make an example of something you've done within a company, if possible, quantify it. First of all, by quantifying, you're going to infuse some numbers on your CV, and putting numbers on something, on a document that has just been words. It literally draws attention. Whoever is going to be looking through your CV after ATS, their eye is drawn to where the numbers stand out. That means when you are quantifying something on your CV, you are making it stand out, therefore it's very important. And also it helps you portray yourself as someone who's competent. If, let's say, for example, you're someone, let's say me, back in the day when I was working in a call center, and now I'm applying for another customer service position. When I list my duties under my job description, I am going to quantify. I used to help, like, let's say 100 clients a day. I used to answer like 60 calls a day. I would handle about 50 emails a day, or things like that. You want to do that so that you already help them paint a picture of how much work you're capable of handling on a day-to-day basis. Whether you try to do that in terms of, like I said, I was saying per day, you could say per week, per month. Just paint a picture, help them paint a picture of how much work you are capable of handling, and anything you've achieved and all of that. You want to make sure it's all on your CV, right? So on the CV part, I say your CV should not be longer than 3 pages. So 1 to 3 pages should be good. You don't list everything. Just list the relevant things on your CV. Excuse me. You want to make sure you use keywords when you are writing down your job descriptions. And thirdly, you want to quantify anything that is quantifiable, right? We still good? Are we still good? Y'all are too quiet. You're too quiet for my liking. Should I cancel this and just go to TikTok? Because I joke, I kid. We are about to talk about something that is exciting. And I say exciting because it's something that a lot of people always ask. We are busy writing. Oh, I love that. I love that. What have you written so far? Next, I'm going to ask you guys to send me notes to my email because I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. This year, we're not leaving any man behind. We are not leaving nobody behind. I want to make sure we are getting everything. We're still good. We're focusing. We are in the office here. Oh, T, you're at work. Oh, cool. Anyway, so the next section that we're going to be talking about is exactly what people asked yesterday. And I thought, oh, let's talk about this. When it comes to your interviews, right? I've always said whenever you're asked for an interview, you are supposed to prepare for behavioral questions. Normally, in remote positions, those are the questions they're going to be focusing on the most. Behavioral questions. And maybe you're asking, V, what exactly is a behavioral question? Girl, I got you. Let me get into it, okay? So, behavioral questions are when someone is interviewing you and they're asking you about past events or how you have handled certain situations in the past, right? And how do you answer these questions? You use what is called the STAR method. And what is the STAR method? Babe, I got you. I got you on everything today. The STAR method is basically you using the word STAR as an acronym to answer your questions. I'm going to define what STAR stands for, and then I will do an example of how I would personally answer this. And I'm answering this with a proper situation that once happened when I was at work, when I was still working as a receptionist before I lost my job and then got this one. Okay. So, anyway, so the STAR method, it's STAR. The S stands for situation, the T stands for task, the A stands for action, and the R stands for result. Okay. I want to see something. Does exactly, you can behave what you want. This is what I was looking for. I'm trying to see if we can delete people, remove them, or what. Hide. Exactly. We don't need bad vibes. Sorry. We are not here for bad vibes. We are not here for bad vibes. You can definitely behave how you want, but you're not going to be a problem on our live. You're not going to disrupt us. Sorry. Thank you for joining, but we don't need that. Anyway, so I was saying the STAR method, it's situation, task, action, and results. I don't know if I have removed him, guys. I did do something and it said removed or whatever. We'll see. If he dare comment again, we'll handle it. Don't worry. But for now, I don't think I'm seeing his comments. Everybody good? Everybody all right? Can we carry on? Okay, cool. We are good. So anyway, I was touching on the STAR. STAR. S stands for situation. A for T. Hey, I can't spell. It's S for situation, T for task, A for action, and R for results. So you are going to be using this framework to answer any question that you're asked. You first state the situation. You talk about what your task was or what task did you give yourself in the situation. What action did you take and what was the result of that? Right? You could be asked a question about, tell us about a story at a time, about a time when you had, let's say, a misunderstanding with a colleague. Let me tell you, because this is a true story. And I want you to pay attention to how I'm talking about it. You are going to touch on the what? The situation, the task, the action, and the result. 4 things, right? So you are asked, how, please repeat the star. It's situation, task, action, and result. It's basically how you answer questions when you're asked a behavioral question. And we say behavioral questions are the questions that want to understand how, it's basically how you process things as a person and how you answer questions about things that have happened in the past. Before you even answer, please keep in mind whenever you're being asked all these things, they're trying to understand how you process situations, how you react, and are you a problem or no? That's basically what they're trying to figure out. Are you a problem or no? Based on the way you handle situations. The one that I've always talked about whenever I'm asked, tell us about a situation that you once had with a colleague and you guys were not on the same page. And this is a true story. There is a guy I worked with. He just never liked me. Like, he's just that guy. He just never liked me. I had moved to work at the reception at this company. I was coming from the call center. And when you work at the reception, right, we had behind the reception team, we then had like the walk-in call center agents. He just never liked me. He would always have a problem with something that I did or whatever. So this one time, and this is exactly how I would tell in an interview, and I'm narrating it. I'm like, so this is how this guy, one day he walked up to me. I work at reception, so clients walk in, clients call, and I am dealing with people face to face. Because he works right behind us, he can walk into reception at any time if he doesn't have a client. So he walked in one day, and the situation was just that, you know what, he walks in and he says, you referred a client to me that wasn't supposed to come to me because I don't handle those situations. And as he does this, I have a client right in front of me. I wasn't going to address a situation like that with him. Also, he was very wrong in him coming to address something with me in front of a client. So what did I do? The action I took, I ignored him. I acted like I can't even hear him because, first of all, a client is my first priority. I helped that client, I finished, and I knew if I had responded to him, we were going to have a back and forth, right? And I was trying to avoid that. I did not even address him. I just went and I told our manager who used to manage at the reception area and the agents at the back. I went and I told that manager, this is what happened, and I don't know how to handle it because I did my job as best I know to. This manager then sat us down and we ironed things out, and from that day we got along. Okay, so here are the things that I touched on. Situation: this person walked up to me while I was with a client. My task in that situation was to help a client. I did exactly that. The action I took was not to respond to this guy. You are not going to tell the story in an interview saying, so the situation was, and then the task, and then the act. No, you're just going to narrate it as a story like I was doing. So the action I took was not responding to my colleague and leaving him as he was. And another action I took was to then speak to management and have them iron this issue out for us. The result of that was that after we sat down and we spoke about it, going forward, we were good. We were both clear on who do I refer which client to, and we were good as colleagues. How is that? As my interviewer, how are you going to mark me? Are you going to turn me away? Please be very honest. Are you going to turn me away? Because if you try to turn me away, I will fight you. Makelepula, thank you. But yeah, so that's how you're going to answer. You are not going to be saying, oh, this was the situation, this was the task, this is the action, and then this is the result. You are just going to tell a story. If you don't know anything about storytelling, let me tell you now, this is the content creator part that's coming, jumping out right now. Okay, it's like, I'm coming out. Storytelling is the best thing you can ever learn in your life. If you can tell a story and keep somebody engaged and keep them focusing on what you're talking about, you have won, babe. That's what you want to focus on. Tell a story. Don't explain things. Tell a story. I'm confused. Is how the guy what? I just lost your comment there. How the guy responded to being ignored while management was on the way. You're better than me. I would be flustered. You know what? The funny thing is, in a professional environment, then yes, I am like pretty chilled. If I'm not in a professional environment, you're gonna get this mouth, okay? You're gonna get everything that comes out of here. But no, he wasn't like problematic like that. He is a problematic person, but his thing was he always tried to intimidate me. First of all, he's a guy. Secondly, when you are somebody new, when you are new in an environment, there's always people who try to kind of push you around. That's true for almost everybody. I was coming from a different department in the company and I was the new person here. People always try to kind of stomp their authority, kind of show you this is how things are done here. And I'm like, babe, no, I know what I'm doing. So he didn't make such a fuss. I also didn't tell management right there as I was talking to the client, no. I handled everything step by step. I ignored him. I helped my client. My client leaves my desk, and then I went to management. After I spoke to management, it didn't happen right there and then. A few minutes, hours later, that's when our manager came and took both of us, and we sat down and we talked it out. So it wasn't one of those, oh, I'm not going to answer you. Next time, don't talk to me. But yeah, it worked out that way. Sometimes that's just how you kind of need to handle things. Let me actually tell you a little story. I woke up to a message. I sent a message to one of my little sisters yesterday, and I was telling her what you did was wrong. Like, you don't handle things that way. And she is very reactive. I said it in a very stern but lovingly older sister way. I woke up this morning, I woke up to a rant, and I was just like, I'm not going to respond. That's just how I am. There is no need. Sometimes there's just no need. You just let things go. Okay? Get me super nervous in interviews. Babe, you're gonna do better after this. You're gonna do better after this. I think the next time we're going to let's do a live on TikTok where somebody can actually join and we can have a whole question and answer, and you guys can actually practice answering questions using the STAR method. I think that would be more helpful because I am a person who learns more by doing, not necessarily by just hearing or listening to somebody or just reading. If I read or hear something from somebody, I have to put it into practice for me to really grasp exactly how you do this thing. So I think, excuse me, what's happening to me? We will do a TikTok live because on TikTok you can join and you can practice and then we can see who's getting better and all of that. We are definitely going to do that. It needs to be planned. It needs to be planned. So anyway, now that you've got that, so far I have basically touched on almost everything I wanted to talk about. We said number one, you need to have direction. So know which direction you want to go in. Also, you want to acquire skills. And when you're acquiring skills, you're going on the usual sites that I normally share with you guys: Udemy, Coursera, Allison, Cursor. What is this? Google Digital Garage. I came across this the other day. Google Digital Garage. So it's different from, what is it? Google's Digital Skills for Africa. No, their new name. It's different from that. Google Digital Garage, it actually has all free courses, unlike the other one that people always shout at me about. That one has free and some paid. Google Digital Garage, it has all free that you can do there. So please go check that out, acquire some skills from there. And then you need to know the basic requirements for you to work remotely, which I have shared. But for more details, there's a video that I've got on my YouTube channel. And then for your CV, we touched on the fact that your CV should not be longer than 3 pages, baby, because anything longer than that, that's a bit too much. And then you want to make sure you include keywords and personalize and customize your CV to the position that you're applying for. And then you want to quantify everything and anything that can be quantified on your CV. And then what we just spoke about now is preparing to answer behavioral questions using the STAR method. I hope you will find some time, whether it's today or whenever, because you guys have said you were writing notes. Were you? If you were, You should find some time to practice how to use the STAR method answering questions. Go on Google, search for interview questions, and then try to what? To use what you have written down to answer those questions. And then where are you going to be applying for remote jobs? So many different platforms. Unfortunately, though, this is the part that I never actually just share because, like I've always said, I don't want to affiliate myself with specific companies when it comes to this. But there are so many people who share this information. If you are on TikTok or here on YouTube, you can look for Lynn. I forgot her last name, Fito or Futa or something like that. You can look her up. She shares a lot of different companies that are hiring. And then there is Beyond the Savannah as well. I need to have live sessions with these two ladies. I think I'll do it on TikTok though. I need to have live sessions with them because they do share these things as well. So go have a look on there. I personally only share my trusted websites in my remote work masterclass. And then the last thing that I would like you to know, okay, wait, everyone keeps saying good question, and that time I missed the question. Where are you, question? Because where can we get websites that share official and legit remote work and not those that look like they will just steal your information? Okay, so I guess indirectly before I even saw that I answered. I don't know why I'm not getting a job still, not even interviews. Have you redone your CV? Taki, I know since last year you've been searching. Have you redone your CV? Maybe get somebody to do it professionally. Also, maybe get someone to do your LinkedIn professionally and things like that. So many things that you need. There are so many touch points when you're looking for a remote job, like I've always said. It's not based on one thing that you will get a job. Know the high income skills, the in demand skills. The good thing, like, I'm not even going to lie to you, a lot of the people that I've come across recently who have gotten jobs within the remote space, you want to have a high demand skill, and most of the high demand skills are the skills that really do require you to apply yourself. They are not the easiest to acquire, but if you do acquire them and they are in demand, you're probably going to be paid way more. So try to do that. I will try to check those people. Please share their names again. I said it's Lynn Fito. I'm scared I'm saying her name wrong. Fito or Futo or something like that. And then Beyond the Savannah. Beyond the Savannah, she's from Kenya. You can check her out as well. But like I said, I'm still going to try and reach out to them so that we can have like live sessions together on TikTok. I think it would be very helpful. You can learn a lot from different people instead of just listening to V. Like, yeah, I give you information, but it's good to also get information from other people within the space. Anyway, so I am going to be giving you guys a little sum. Okay, a little sum. Those of you who want to attend the remote work masterclass, okay, I'm giving you guys a little sum. This, are we here? I think this is weird because how did switching on my laptop affect my network? That is a bit wild. No, it was my network. Sorry, babes. So sorry. That was definitely me. That is so strange. I literally switched on my laptop and then it started reconnecting. Sorry about that. But anyway, what I was saying is that for anyone who has watched this live and anyone who's going to be watching this live before the 2nd of Feb and you want to attend the remote work masterclass, I've got a discount code just for the people on this live. It's not gonna go. If you see me on TikTok tomorrow and I'm live or later today and you ask me for this code, it's not available. It's available only on this video. It's only available on this video. The discount code, it's capital letters YTJAN15. Somebody write it down for the girls if you don't mind. Okay, so if you find yourself wanting to attend the remote work masterclass, or you've got somebody who wants exactly, Zanele, love it for you, baby, you got it right. That's YTJAN15. It's only available here. When we are on TikTok, it's not there. Okay, so don't ask me. And if people ask me and I say no, I don't have a discount code, don't be the person to out me. Because everybody will have to watch this video to get that specific discount. um I know generally people do get a discount if they sign up to my newsletter, but this one is different. So that's a little thank you from me to you guys for spending time on this live, for spending like 45 minutes learning about remote work. I hope I will be with you again next week when we do the UGC one. If you are someone who wants to get into content creation and you want to know how this UGC works, okay, what do we use it for? I'm lost. Where can I use it? It's for the first time joining. Okay, no, it's fine. Let me explain. Sorry for not explaining. So I have this remote work masterclass that I do every single month. It's basically a masterclass where we talk about remote work. You're welcome, Tejo. If you would like to join it, you can go in any of my videos here on YouTube, or if you are on my TikTok, link in my bio. How do I do a CV with no experience in that remote work? You're gonna need to book a consultation with me, baby. Anyway, so like I was saying, with that discount code, if you go to the description box of any of my videos, you will see there's a link to a remote work masterclass. The one that's coming up in February, you can use that discount code in order for you to get a little bit of money off that, off the full price. Okay. Can you please talk about social media management? Let's see. Next time. So next week, I'm actually going to be talking about UGC. We did have a live last week, pretty. So go and check out the lives on this channel. There is one where we spoke about social media management and all that. This was last week, so go and watch that. For next week, there's only UGC. That's also going to be like a full-on masterclass, basically. I see Techie made it. Anyway, guys, this has been amazing. I have really enjoyed. See you next Wednesday, but see you soon on TikTok. I can't wait. I will see you guys probably on TikTok a bit later in the day, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm seeing you anyway before the end of the week. For everybody else, thank you. What if it was nice to meet you too? Please tell us how you answer the salary question. It always gets me so mad. So with the salary question, I do have a video about this on my TikTok. I guess I need to do one for here. If you are asked for what salary are you looking for, never, ever, 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 ever give a specific amount. You don't give a specific amount. How I have personally always answered this question about your salary, if you're asked, first of all, let me just say, I don't understand why most companies still do not put their salary on their job ad. Like, as soon as you think we want to hire, why not just put it there so that we know when we are applying? But anyway, if you're asked how much are you hoping to get in this role, how I've always answered, first of all, you're going to do your research. So whatever position you're applying for, you should have an idea of what amount most people in that position get paid. So give a range. Exactly, I like that, Kaketo. You give a range of what you're accepting, and in that range you can tell them that if they're outside of the range, if your range is a bit too much for them, for the right job you're willing to kind of negotiate and see where it goes. But never, ever, ever, ever just an amount. How much do you want? $3,000? No, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Anyway, guys, this has been amazing. We will catch up again on YouTube next week on Wednesday. Bye.